Daalụ sa. Daalụ. Biko, achọrọ m ka ị gwawa afọ na ebe i si bịa na Delta State ka o wee marị.
Okay. Afọ m bụ Dr. Felix Okafor Ikade na Ologoza Quarter in Ubudu Kingdom.
Ubudu, amasị Ubudu na Delta State, that is Enuani. One local government ka ọ dị.
Delta State.
Anyocha ka ọ bụ?
Anyocha North.
Okay, Anyocha North. Okay.
Yeah, Delta State.
Anọ m si na Ubudu asụ.
Because we are living in the midst of Anyocha North.
Okay.
So we have to learn how to speak. We learn it how to speak Anyocha North. That is Delta Igbo. But we have our own language, which they call Olukumi.
Okay. Okay.
We are from Yoruba land, according to our forefathers' history. See, Anioma, that is in Ondo State.
Okay.
They came from Akure.
Okay.
In Ondo State. We have 4 quarters in Ubudu.
Okay.
3 quarters is that 3 quarters make up Ubudu. The 4th one came last, according to history, which is Ologoza Quarter.
Okay.
That Ologoza Quarter make up 2 families. One family is from Owo.
Okay.
Another family from Akoko in the same Ondo State.
Okay.
So Ubudu, another place. So one way problem one way during those days, Sarah and Ebuwe. And they have brothers because they are the same states in Akoko and Owo. So they now invite those warriors from Akoko and Owo to help them conquer the war. Then after the war, because the 2 headmen from Owo and Akoko, they are prince from their place. After the war, then the Obi of Ubudu then say no, they cannot go, that the war may later come back. And it will be worse than the way it is before. They should stay with him. Then the 2 priests say no, they cannot be under another person to serve another person. It's okay, that is when they enter gentleman agreement, then no written note. So you people will be having your own king, serving yourself. Then in that Ogoza, we have about 5 families that serve the Oloza of Ogoza, while the other 3 quarters serve the Obi Oloza of Ubudu. The Ogoza don't pay homage to be of Ubudu. That's why in Ubudu we have 2 Ozuale. We call it Ozuale, but Anyocha not call it Ihuani.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If you go to other places, who have 1 Ihuani. Ojubo have 1 Ihuani. Other places like that, but it's only Ubudu that have 2 Ihuani because they have 2 kings.
Okay.
And the overall king is the Obi Oloza of Ubudu.
Okay.
That is the overall. So that is how they come to. That is how Ubudu become to an existence.
Okay.
They now share the tithe after the 2 Ihuani. The Obi of Ubudu, when the first day they peg the 2 Ihuani, if the Obi of Ubudu won't peg his own, the Oloza of Ogoza will place hand on his shoulder, he will peg it. Then when they want to peg Ologoza own, the Obi of Ubudu will place hand on his shoulder to peg his own. But right from them, if they want to start their annual festivals, that is Imifafo. Then the Obi of Ubudu, if you want to serve his own Ihuani, he will bring goat. After prayer, while cutting the neck of the goat, the Oloza of Ogoza will place hands on his shoulder. He will cut the goat. Then after, they cut the hands of the goat. They give the Oloda of Ogoza one. While the Obi of Ubudu will take one leg and the head. Then Indi Iche will share the remaining one. After 5 days, the Oloda of Ogoza will carry his own goat to the Inuani of Ogoza. That is Alirare. We call it Alirare. Then after prayer, if you want to cut the neck, the Obi of Ubudu will place hands on his shoulder. He will conduct the same thing. No part, all the whole Ubudu we are under Enuani. Masina Boye Biko Wache.
Yes. Dano.
So we don't hear now. Even Yoruba people can't carry work come to Aniocha now. We will run back say no. We have to fight for Aniocha because we are now belong to Aniocha. Olukumi. That Olukumi is from Yoruba land. We speak like Yorubas.
Okay. Okay. You speak like Yorubas.
Yes.
That is very interesting.
To our place now, we know that you don't understand our language. We speak Enuani to you. We speak together.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So yes, you will speak Enuani and you will speak Yoruba. If somebody that doesn't understand Yoruba, you will not speak Enuani to the person.
I am supposed to say Enuani.
Jesus.
So that we can flow together.
Okay.
If you hate Ndigbo, and you see some evidences that people like us are providing, how we have been treating others better, then you intentionally want to live in ignorance. You intentionally want to be evil. You intentionally want to be wicked. Recently, what is trending on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media is about the Ghana Igbo Eze, that people are talking here and there that he want to beat a kingdom. But recently, the Oni of Ife went to visit the Eze Ndigbo in Ghana. Funny enough, in his own house, the man gave Oni of Ife the big throne to sit, and sit in a small throne. In his own house, he did not sit on his own throne. That's to tell you how Igbo treat people. Recently, there's an Amala feast in Owerri. You see, whenever I make it, I show you evidence. I know they talk, they say, I show you evidence. Recently, there's an Owerri feast. Amala feast, the Yoruba community. They call it just Amala feast, but Yoruba community is celebrating their own cultural food in Igbo. Peaceful, nobody trended on social media. It wasn't a quarrel, it wasn't a fight. But let people say they want to do Abacha feast in any part of Yoruba land. It becomes they want to dominate. Yes, if you are a Yoruba person, a Gala, any tribe you are, but you are not Igbo, including some minority tribes in the South or so-called South precisely, you have to wake up from your slumber. You have to understand that you are the one who is doing yourself by pointing finger to Ndigbo. Since we started agitating for Anioma state, the bankers, the Igbo speaking people in Edo state, Ibanke, Eru, Owarinuzo, Ekpu, and so many of them have decided that they want to leave Edo state and join Anioma state. And their reason is because they are being marginalized. And their reason is because they are being not treated fairly. Recently, I told you there was a rumor that the governor of Edo State, Okwebelo, has recently signed that they should supply transformer to the banker people, because they are now learning in the hard way that they need to show love. They need to bring government presence to the bank if they don't want the banker to leave. But I told you it's late. These guys have learned their lesson, because if the Anioma state is graded and they didn't join, these same people will come back to claim that land. If you are claiming the land of the people, that tells who you are. But see it now, Igboness are trying to leave Edo State. Meanwhile, people that came all the way from Ondo are telling you that they are Igbos now. That even if a war comes from Ondo, Yoruba bring a war to Anioma, they will defend Anioma than defending Yoruba land. Tell me what that tells you. If we are that bad, if Ndigbo is that bad, if Ndigbo is that wicked, as you claim to be, Igbo do this, Igbo do that. If Ndigbo is that bad, tell me how these people decided to stand with us. The war is not starting, no. We are just saying, assuming they are telling you what they will do. The Yorubas that travel knows better than the ones that are educated and living. That's why they say that the child that travels is wiser than a man with a gray hair. These guys that are moving, that are moved from places to places, can see. They can experience. The reality of love will show them. If we are that bad. If you listen keenly, in case you know they hear Igbo that the man was speaking, he said there are 4 quarters in Ubudu, and they speak like Yoruba. So what they speak today is not purely Yoruba, as in the central Yoruba, like we have the central Igbo. What they speak is a dialect of Yoruba, which is called Olukumi, just like we, being an Enuani, is a dialect of Igbo, which is called Enuani language. Like the Abo people speaking Eka, which is a dialect of Igbo language. So their own dialect is called Olukumi. Now, these Olukumi people, who is a dialect of Yoruba, is telling you they have 2 languages in that place. And because they are being in the midst of Anioma people, they now speak Anioma. Now, these people have not lost their language, their original language. You know where it's going, taking me to? Of course, you know what I'm going to say next. If they have not lost their original language, which is the Olukumi, you that claim you're a descendant of Benin, you that claim that Benin found our village, why did we lose the Benin? Evidence, Yakba, there's a lot of things that will make you understand that everything about Benin is a lie. In fact, let me even tell you one of the things that will make you believe that Benin is a lie. Did you hear when the man said that the Obi of Ubudu has a war he want to fight in the early days, and they went to a war? They went to Ondo. That time there's no Ondo state. They went to their people and tell them, come and join me and fight a war. And they came. After fighting the war, the king said, no, don't go yet, oh. Please stay with me, in case if the war come back again. They say if we stay here, we cannot be under another king. Remember, we cannot be under another king. Then he now said, take some part, be a king of your people that came. Take some part and be a king here. And that's why they have 2 thrones in Ubudu today, in Olukumi today, in the same Anioma. They are still practicing our culture, but they still reserve their own culture. Not tampering with it. They have, the agreement is there, 2 thrones. And the man narrated how they celebrate even our own culture. They still do our own culture, but they still recognize the 2 thrones by placing hand on the shoulder when they want to slide this thing. Now, where am I going to? Have you ever heard that any kingdom followed the Benin to fight a war? Because when they say Benin is empire, have you ever heard that anybody followed the other Benin to go to a war? You know why? Because Benin do not own any of those towns. They don't. That is the truth. If you own a town and you claim to be an ancestor, and those who claim to be descendants, you want to go to a war, you will call them together to fight the war with you. That is the pure truth. No history have recorded that Benin went to war side by side with a social village, with a social committee. Instead, it's Benin going to a war alone to go and kill the people in that community. The Aye Kumeku is a typical example how we, different villages and different kingdoms, joined together, went to a war to fight the British government. The Aye Kumeku. If the Benin were the same, when the British fought the Benin in 4 days, our people would have joined together with the Benin to fight the British government. But no, because we are not one. Hey, I told you, say evidence yakpa. Evidence yakpa. We are not one. In fact, our people are even looking for a way that Benin should be crushed. So when it happened, they say, oh, they don't go. But they crush them. Am I against the Benin of today? No. But the reason why Benin is a subject of my topic is because now them BDC segment, they are the subject of everything I want to talk about this identity crisis. And you can see today, even when you want to remove them from the equation, they are still the one putting themselves in the equation by claiming that the Debunking is their own land. By claiming they own the whole land from Benin down to Onitsha, down to Oguta. But sometimes I don't want to push blame on them because our people are part of the reason. You go see some people now, they go to say, they say we came from Benin. Yes, you migrated from Idu because Idu land belongs to you. We are the occupant of Idu land. We left that place. Go and listen to the video that Oni of Ife is sharing. Go and listen, even that Yoruba professor that shared the history that before the coming of Oduduwa, our people occupied the Ile-Ife land. It is war that make the people leave Ile-Ife and go back to Idu, and leave Idu and come back to where we settle today. It's called reverse migration. That is why Onitsha is called Onitsha Adonidu. And any Yoruba man know what we mean by Ado, and any Idu man know what we mean by Idu. These two places are the name of those villages. Ile-Ife is called Ado. Benin today is called Idu. The history are there. Nobody can lie about it. And our people give name according to movement, according to location. I've said it time without number. If they burn Pikin in the bush, they call it Nwafia. If they burn it in the market, they call it Nwafia. Uzubo. That is how they give name. So the name of places depends on how the movement or what happened, the event that took place. So the event of Onitsha becoming Onitsha Adonidu is because of their migration. Migration is not the center, it's not origin. Migration is not origin. English no be a mate. Look at these people. They migrated to Anioma, but they are not originally Anioma people. They know their origin. The fact they are settling there does not mean they are from here. So if they decide to do reverse migration now, maybe 100 years later, some of them will not be claiming we are Igbo people. We moved to, assuming they decide to reverse migration, these people now, and reverse migration, or assuming after the war, after they fought that war, those people that came decided to reverse back to their place, their children will now wake up and start claiming we came from Anioma, we are not Yoruba people. That is what is happening today. Migration is not origin. Your language tells you your origin. Your language. That is the first point of, because every man exists with communication. So whatever you say and the next person understand you shows who you are. I said it in last video that before you will tell somebody, this is name of my village, you have a language you are speaking. If I'm the only person in this environment, and another man came to me, before we name this place a name, there's a language. And it is from the language we choose the name we will name here. So, name of your village does not come first before the language. So your village name do not come unto your father have a language. Language supersedes names because it's from the language you have a name. You that is saying Ika is older than Igbo. Ika does not come unto your father have a language, and that language you speak is what they call Igboroid language because they are similar to all Igbo clans. Yeah, shouting. Anyway, I'm out of here, Joe.